Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Mandy. I cut these little maple leaves with my laser. And if you're a laser user, I have an XTOOL S120 watt. So the first ones I cut were too small. They still work as coasters because a drink will still sit on them. But then I cut larger ones. And then, so I cut these with black acrylic. And so they have a backing on it. So when you take one side off, you can decorate the top. And then when you finish them and you want to take the resin drips and stuff off, you just heat up the back or peel off the back, and then you don't have to sand anything. They're fabulous. But anyway, I cut the bigger size, and then I tried to do blooms on them, and then I realized the leaves were too far apart, yada, yada, yada. So anyway, I'm going to cut a different maple leaf shape, but I wanted to use the ones I cut, so that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to do a resin pour on them. I show you this berry mixture, but I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use that Aubergine base cell color from Color Passion. I'm going to use base cell white from Color Passion, and I'm going to use top cell white from Color Passion. In addition to that, I'm going to use spiced ginger from Colourarte and a floating gold. I think I used 007 from Color Passion. And I'm missing something. Oh, I think a champagne color from Just Resin. So anyway, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up my resin. I'm going to spread some resin out on the leaf itself so we can get some color on it. And then I'm going to do that on both of the leaves. I'm going to smush them together and pull them apart and torch them. Super easy for beginners. That's my floating gold. Super easy for beginners, and it's a really fun way to use some resin. So because I don't like the way these did with blooms, like I said, I want to use them, and it's, if I get too busy, I won't use them and fall will be over. So I'm going to do a set of the small leaves and a set of the large ones. Sadly, I mixed up too much resin and it started to seize up. So the resin I'm using is Promise Epoxy Tabletop Epoxy, which is a good epoxy to use. However, if you're used to an art epoxy, you don't have as much working time. So, be aware that you need to move quickly or not. Don't leave a whole bunch of resin sitting in a cup. And the more resin you leave in one surface, the faster it cures. So just a heads up. So this is that aubergine color. It's a beautiful like burgundy color. Um, so anyway, I do have discount codes in the description box. And I have a code for Promise Epoxy. It works really well. You just can't, I hate wasting stuff. And so I probably wasted about 2.5 ounces of resin, maybe 3. I was bummed. But anyway, these turn out really cool. It's hard to see from the view that you're, because you're far away, but I will show you a close-up when we get them done. But obviously, after we mix up colors and show you the colors, we should speed up the process because, you don't want to be bored. But this is just kind of a fun way. It's fun to have these blanks around if you have extra resin because you can make coasters with them and not waste your resin. And like, there's not a ton of skill involved in this, and they always turn out really cool. So hang with me.
If you saw this video the other day, I apparently had some issues with my sound, and I'm voicing over the second part of this video because my sound was cutting in and out and I have no idea why. So thank you, Cindy, for making me aware of that. How embarrassing. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the base cell white down first just to kind of cover the leaf, and then I'll drizzle the other colors, and then I'll end with the top cell white, and then I'll smush them. When I smush them, I try to kind of twist one side to get some effects when I'm taking it off of the other one. And just kind of make sure that not everything's just straight up and down. It doesn't super matter because when you torch it, it'll change a little bit. But I really love the way these turn out. And the big ones, I went ahead and cut some cork backs for. The smaller ones, I didn't cut backers for a couple of reasons. For one, I didn't have the original size in my file anymore, and I knew it would be way more worth the trouble to try to figure out the size. So I'm just going to leave them the way they are. So they can be used as a coaster, or somebody can, Dremel a hole in them and use them as little ornaments. Either way. So we're going to use the spiced ginger next. I had to order a backup of this one because I only have a little one and it's such a pretty color. In case I don't remember what I've told you so far, but in case I forget, there's discount codes in the description box below. And Colourarte is closing at the end of October, so stock up now if you need to. Leslie's having a huge sale, so I don't know that my discount's going to serve you any help, but you can shop through my link if you want. But I mean, the prices are great, so if you need to stock up, stock up. And then I also have a link for Promise Epoxy, which is what I used for these coasters, in the description below. And I really like Promise Epoxy's resin. The only thing is the working time. If you're used to an art resin, the working time is not as long. And I waited too long and my resin seized up. So this is my Floating Gold 007 from Color Obsession. And with floating pigments, you don't need very much, just a little bit. They're very fine and poofy, so a little goes a long way. So this is, I think that's Champagne is the color from Just Resin. And so part of the reason I'm using a lot of different brands is the base cell from Color Passion produces cells when a different brand is on top of it. The only exception to that would be like the base cell and the top cell. So there's a top cell white. But if you use Color Passion as a base cell and then you use something else on top of it, Just Resin, Colourarte, it encourages cells. Now, if you just use all Color Passion, the only thing that's probably going to produce the cells for you is the top cell. So that's kind of why you want a good mixture. So I'm putting down the base cell white just to kind of cover the surface. And then I'm going to drizzle all my other colors with like the aubergine and the spiced ginger. And then we're going to smoosh them together and gently twist to pull them apart and torch them. So super easy, really easy for beginners. This is a really fun way to use up leftover paint. I'm not going to sell these leaf blanks. I do have heart-shaped blanks, and I have Texas-shaped blanks, and I can make circles and squares and all that stuff. So if you are looking for something like that, feel free to message me. I haven't had time to do the actual Etsy listing for the hearts, but I have a lot of those. But they're a lot of fun to work with. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit out of frame there on that back one, but super easy. You can see how easy that is. And I actually do this a lot when I have leftover resin. I just grab a couple, use up my resin. Sometimes it works out to be a whole set, sometimes it doesn't. But they're so cute. And look how beautiful they are. So here's up close. And then we'll do the bigger ones real quick. But, I mean, really beautiful considering we just smushed them together. So yeah, the bigger ones are like between 5 and 6 inches. These were 4 inches, but that was kind of all the way around. So you can see these are little big jamamas. We're going to do exactly the same thing. And again, sorry about that one being out of frame. I'm still getting used to this camera my husband got me. I really like it. It has a great picture and it zooms in really nicely. And it allows me to kind of see what you're seeing. But by this time I had resin all over me and I wasn't going to touch my Mac with resin fingers. So anyway, I'm doing the same things, just same colors, same order, just bigger. And the only downside to using this kind of a blank is if you're going to have something that has a very sharp edge, that this is true of any kind of resin surface, like you always have the potential that your resin will want to try to lift off or peel off versus like a rounded edge. It's just not going to be as tempting for it to do that. So that's another reason why if I were to do the leaves again, I think I would use something that doesn't have such sharp, distinct leaf edges, because I would want to make sure that, you know, there's a better chance that the resin is going to have kind of a good surface. But I mean, how much are you going to pick up a coaster and try to pull on it? You know what I mean? So anyway, but they're a beautiful fall color palette. I really like them. Yeah, so before I forget, this coming weekend, we have our final Colourarte collaboration event. It'll be Saturday and Sunday, and we will have the secret words and phrase so that you can potentially win from each of the artists and a grand prize. there will be a shorter turnaround time. So I think you only have like a week to watch the videos and turn everything in, but you can still win. And the winners will get a store credit from Colourarte. And you know, obviously you don't have a ton of time to use it, but it's a great time to stock up and get some products before Colourarte closes. So make sure and check us out and join us for the fun as we honor Colourarte and honor Leslie's contribution for so many years. So yeah, you can see they're pretty much the same thing, just bigger. They all look unique, but they're same color palette. So here's a close-up. Hopefully I didn't speed it up too much because I did speed this video up. Anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry if you saw the first video and heard all the weird sound issues. Hopefully this fixed it. Again, thank you, Cindy, for letting me know because that's embarrassing. But yeah, thanks for watching. And let me know what you think of these, and I will talk to you soon. Again, thank you for being so patient while videos have been a little bit sporadic lately. All right, talk to you soon.